Hey guys, Joe here with another video. This is the deck I just played at the Garden City Regionals yesterday on the 4th. I wanted to play something fun now that quote-unquote Dragon format is quote-unquote over. Last format, I mean, I had a lot of success in the game, but I wasn't having too much fun playing the same deck all the time. So I wanted to build something fun, and I wanted to take on the challenge of making Dragons playable since everybody was writing them off already, which, I mean, we did that last format and that didn't turn out good either. So I wanted to play some sort of dragon deck. I didn't like the plant ruler build, and I didn't like the blue eyes build. I just felt like the plays were sort of limited. So I wanted to build something just kind of fun. Me and my friend Danny came up with this concept, and we threw together a build, and then we both tweaked it in our own different directions, and this is what mine ended up looking like. So it's really weird, but it was pretty good. 3 Lilas, 3 Raikou, 3 tour guides, and tour bus for like your chaos engine. 2 troopers for milling. Tetherwolf for a normal summonable 7, Dandy for milling and getting tokens, pitching with Redox and getting tokens, etc., etc. Debris because it's broken. It does a lot more than just make Black Rose in this deck. Wyvern for getting your red eyes, and then since Dark Armed is awful in this deck, I play a Lad for your second Wyvern target, so you don't have to show your opponent your deck a lot if you already have the red eyes. I can side the Lad out if like consistency is absolutely crucial. If like it's a game 3 or something, I'll take this out. Like I'd rather show them my deck than lose having this dead. So you can take it out if need be. But if you summon it, you should probably win. 2 Pulsars. This isn't Chaos Dragon, so you only play 2. It's that recyclable Pulsar Red Eyes loop for gaining advantage. It's just an extra just a monster to drop and go for game. The ability to have an Engrave and Pitch Lights and Darks to summon it, it just has a lot of synergy. It makes a lot of plays. The 4 Dragon Rulers, yeah, I mean, none of them are really any more important than the others, because you don't really want to banish these for each other unless you absolutely have to. I mean, preferably Sark Tempest, get the debris. 3 Flamvel Guards for your level 1 tuners. You play Dragon Shrine, so I don't like Corseska. Also, again, you shouldn't be really banishing them, so like having them as search targets isn't really relevant. It's just summon it and sync. I like setting it turn 1 and just having a tuner on board for next turn, because they usually can't kill it. They'll just assume it's a Raikou, so they won't commit usually. It's a fire for Blaster. 2 Maxis, 1 Valor, and 2 Trigodias. I was originally going to play just Gores and Scarecrow as hand traps, and then I cut a lot of my engine because things like Cards of Consonance just weren't working out for me, so I just decided to play hand traps. It worked out pretty good. I like Trag over Gores because you never really have an empty field, so you drop this off like when they kill your monster a lot, and then you just drop it for next turn setups, and it'll make them go out of their way to like get around it in main phase 2, things like that. Play Sark and Charge. Play 3 Recharges, 2 Dragon Shrine, and 1 DDR. I would probably up this to 2. Originally I played 1 of this and 1 Tetherwolf because I didn't want to have either at 2 and like have cloggy hands. I didn't want Tetherwolf at 2 because it's a normal summon and your normal summon can be important. And I didn't want this at 2 because it's pitch, and this isn't a deck where you really like want to discard. I mean, it's not awful, but it's not like you have 9 to 12 Dragon Rulers, so you can just pitch and it doesn't matter. But I would probably up this to 2. I don't know if I would play 41 cards or find something cut. There wasn't really anything I want to cut, but I'd probably play 2 DDRs. It was probably DDR or Tetherwolf was the best card of the day. They were both really, really good. I'll go over my extra deck. It did Formula and Orient. I never used this for its effect because nobody was really synchroing versus me. I think there were 2 synchros dropped versus me, or no, there were a couple, but most of them were going for OTKs. So it was just there as like sync into 6. Like a lot of times you would go, you'd just have Dandy tokens on board, and then I would usually Dandy with 2 of us like back to the deck. So I would like Debris for a Raikou, and then sync 6 into this, and then, or you'd have a guard, not a Dandy token. You'd sync into this, and then sync with the guard for 7. So I never used this effect, but it was a good stepping stone. 2 Black Roses. I would actually consider playing 3 if there was room. Like, you go into that really easy with Pulsar. Stardust, Scrap, Colossal, and Blader. Star Eater. I didn't use it too much, but it's good for being big. I big-eyed a Queen Dragon Division and then crashed into a 32 Xeraphine with this, because I can't die by battle with their Dragon Division, so it did kind of cool things. Leviathan, Leviair, Big Eye, and triple Draco Sack. This deck kind of grindy early game. You try to just waste your opponent's resources before you push, so usually you'll use like one Big Eye and one Draco, or like two Dracos in the grind game, and then you want the third Draco for like pushing. And amazingly, for only having the 4 level 7s, you can actually go through all 4 of these and then still have a level 7 play, which is hilarious. And then your Draco and Dandy tokens, of course. The extra deck was really solid. I made everything. I made triple Draco at least twice. I made double Black Rose like a dozen times. And I went into everything at least a couple times. So, I mean, there wasn't really anything I would change. I'd like to get a second Big Eye in there, but there's no room. And then my side deck was the third Maxi, the second Veiler, triple Space, and double Twister for back row, 2 Encore just in case you run an Evil Swarm, you don't want to auto-lose, 2 Surgery, it hits a lot right now. The only deck I played that I put in inverse was a Geargia Karakuri deck, because I didn't play Boojins or Fire Fist or Prophecy or anything else where it's applicable. 2 mistakes, you only search off Sark and Charge, and if you banish a dragon, which, as I've said, you don't really want to banish a dragon, so mistake doesn't really hurt you. And then 2D Prisons, these are in there for like Mermails, mostly. The only matchup I played where I put these in was a Blackwing matchup, and every time I flipped it, they just chained Icarus, because they always have Icarus apparently, so... for the side deck, I'm going to cut these out. I don't know what for yet, but everything else was really solid. So... Also, with DNA Surgery, you can just call dragons, and then you can banish anything for Red Eyes, which is kind of cool. So anyway, that's the deck. I will go over my rounds really quick. I started the day out 0-2, because this deck was bad, apparently. But I played round 1 against one of my friends from locals who was playing Harpies. I think I outplayed him, but he flipped Hysteric Party for like 5 monsters, like 3 times, and always had the Maxi, so he eventually just overwhelmed me. Like, it is what it is. Round 2 I played Wind-Ups. He beat me game 1, I beat him game 2, and then game 3 I just drew awful, and he just sort of poked me with Rabbit to death. Because he had a macro and I just couldn't make plays. Round 3 I played against a hero player. He had just started playing again, so he wasn't really used to chains and like how to respond with Max C, and he kind of lost to his own Fossil Dyna for a while, and I don't know, I kind of felt bad for him, because he just got back into the game, and his friends handed him a deck, and were like, go play, so he did, and I don't know, it was a really easy matchup. Round 4 I played Ghostricks, it was really easy, I never even took damage that matchup, 2-0'd him. Round 5 I played against Blackwings, beat him game 1, he beat me game 2, and then game 3 he had Armed Wing Dad, and I big-eyed his dad to pop his field and then OTK, which was kind of fun. Round 6 I played against Dark World, which is annoying, but he didn't draw too good, and game 1 he two-guided for Brow, and I maxed, so he just stopped with two-guide Brow in attack mode. And then on my second turn I dropped 11,000 damage to OTK through those monsters. And then game 2 he just drew bad and I OTK'd again. Then round 7 I played his friend who was also playing Dark World. Our game 1 was like a 28-minute grind fest. He let me draw like 15 off Max C to try to put a humongous field on board. It was like Zombie Stein, Puppet, a Strings guy, a Dad, and 2 Graphas, and I cleared the field and OTK'd because he let me draw so many cards. Then game 2 he OTK'd me, and then game 3 was another drag-out game where we went into time, and I did just busted shenanigans, and I eventually won it. But it was a really hard match. Round 8, I played against Geargia Karakuri. Game 1, I maxed seed for 18, but I did not draw my Veiler or Trags. The Veiler would have mattered because he finished his loop with a Mistworm in order to blow my field away and then swing for game. So if I would have drawn the Veiler, I would have survived, then obviously I would have won next turn because I had like 20 cards in hand. But I didn't draw the Veiler or the Trag, so he beat me game 1, and then games 2 and 3 I beat him. I just kept Blader locking him, and DNA Surgering if he ever like got out of the Blader lock, so he couldn't go off. So that was pretty easy. Then round 9, I played against Constellars. The only deck I'd playtested against was actually Constellars, because my friend was trying to remember how to, like, or not remember, but, like, get back into playing, and he was playing Constellar, so I played against that a bit, so I kind of knew what to do. He drew sort of subpar, but, I mean, he had Honest all 3 games, and he had Warning 2 of them, so, like, that's pretty good. He beat me game 1 or 2 off just a Volcasaurus play, because I had to push, and then I just beat him the other 2 games. I just overwhelmed him and eventually just got game because his deck does dumb shenanigans. But, I mean, what I learned throughout the day was after round 1 and 2, I thought this deck was just awful and inconsistent because I was drawing bad and milling bad. And then I won round 3 just because it was bad, and I won 4 because he was bad. But by round, like, 5 and 6, the deck started clicking, and I was just going super plus, making just ridiculous combos. It reminded me a lot of plant format plants. It was just super huge combos and dropping OTKs left and right, and I had a lot of fun with it. So it's sort of Chaos Dragon, E-Dragon, plant ruler thing with tour guides. I don't know what to call it. It's just pile of cards deck. But anyway, if anybody wants to try it out, I encourage it. It's a lot of fun. It's extremely non-linear. This is maybe the most fun I've had playing a deck in a tournament because it made me think so much. Like, there was one turn, I like Black Rose twice, Draco'd twice, and used Red Eye's effect like 3 times because I just kept killing my own stuff to pull things back, and you can just do dumb stuff. But anyway, thanks for watching. I ended up finishing 7 and 2. I lost rounds 1 and 2, like I said, and then I won the last 7, and I finished 25th place. So I was trying to top 8 again to get another mat, but you know, doesn't happen when you start 0 and 2. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to try out the deck, I encourage it. It's a lot of fun. And if you have any comments, like suggestions, what I should put in my side deck, because like I said, these prisons did nothing, and I'm considering just putting in prohibitions, but I don't know. If you have any suggestions, put them down below. And check out my trade minder. I'll be updating that a few hours after this uploads. So, once again, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. I hope you enjoyed this deck. I'm sorry that it's dragons, but at least it's not dragons. Anyway, later.